What do you call, guys, people who watch you and are obsessed with your every move in life, and they worry about the things that you accomplish? They revel in your failures. What are they? Who are they? They're stalkers. They're stalkers, guys. In case you didn't notice that. It's not flattering when you stalk another person. On the extreme end, people have actually been murdered behind obsessive behaviors from other people, from toxic people. So yeah, you're a stalker and you qualify to be one if you're obsessed with someone who doesn't even know of your presence, but you make it a point to follow their every move in life. A lot of people on social media suffer from this. They have stalkers, people who wake up and live their whole entire lives around what you do in your day. And these people have no understanding or rationalization about how silly and low life and low level that they look. It doesn't matter if they're earning money behind doing it, because it's a toxic behavior. Your failure to see how you're irritating someone else or taunting someone else. Your inability to see or use a cutoff switch in your mind when to stop. How long does one do this? Do they do it for years? Because if you're stalking someone for years, you are a low life. You have no life of your own, because your life is is built on someone else's life. You're a stalker. You know, in some situations, you have couples who may break up. You know, the guy may be a little disgruntled about how things went, or the woman, and to which they will do a series of actions that are irrational. Sometimes these actions may lead them to incarceration. You know, but at the time that they're doing it, it doesn't matter, because they don't have any type of regulating switch in their minds to tell them when to do something or when not to do something. That's what makes them different from us. That's what makes them dysfunctional from the rest of us. The rest of us will have a bad day at work, and instead of socking out the boss or doing something, we would just go cool off. We understand the rules, right? We play the game by the rules. These people will do anything, you know. Your disgruntled postal office workers, you know, different people. They do things because of they're not grounded. They don't know who they are, and so they could be anyone at any given moment. You know, hopefully not a psychopath murderer, but sometimes that happens. You know, in the mild forms of this type of behavior, which is bad, in this mildest form, it may come in the form of character assassination or gossip. You know, and you saw this a lot back in high school. You know, you could have been a popular guy, you know, for the guys, and you could have had a girlfriend, and she could have been a popular cheerleader or something, and so every time you went in a space or went somewhere, you know, you encountered groups of people who were haters. You felt their energy, you felt their jealousies and their enviousness. You felt all of these things. They've never had a kind word to say about you, even though they don't know you personally, right? They're obsessed with what you're doing, right? A lot of it is for control. A lot of people at jobs have to deal with bosses who do the same types of things. They use their power to stalk you. And because most people are not insightful or even understand what's going on, you know, they sit by idly and just watch these things happen, you know, at your expense, you know. The best thing you can do in the situations where you have no control, like your workspaces, is to simply ignore the stalker, because they don't have a life, and they're not going to contribute anything positive to your lives. It's not healthy behavior at all. It's really It's really crazy. Crazy behavior. So if you're a woman and you're stalking a man and you're doing this and he gets, you know, word of you're doing this or he's observing you do this to him, is he going to find you more attractive? If he avoided you prior to him knowing these things, is he going to be more into you at this point after he finds out that you've been like stalking him? And you know, does he not see a liability in his path if he deals with you? Okay. And reverse, a woman seeing a man do these types of actions and behaviors is only going to be fearful of this man because he's unstable. She doesn't know what he will do, right? To what degree this obsession will take him. Now we saw a couple of weeks ago, we saw that guy, you know, run around and I think he murdered somebody on Facebook or something like that, and it was behind some woman who did not want him, you know. So you're such a fucking loser in life that you can't even deal with rejection. See, there's a lot of people like this who are, you know, on the outside we see the hard shell on the outside, but on the inside they're all mushy goo like egg yolk, right? They're all soft on the inside. They're not able to deal with things. A lot of these people will put these negative energies on you, right? They will project them to you, and they would treat you in certain spaces. But once you reverse that and you give them a dose of their own medicine, they cannot handle that dose. So they're weak automatically because they're showing you that they can dish it out, but they can't take it. And behind a person who does not want you, you know, never stay with someone who does not want to keep you. I think Doc Love or somebody said that once. Or never stay in a relationship with someone who doesn't want you in the relationship. Something to that effect. But that's a healthy way of thinking because it's coming from a place of you. You're looking out for your interests. You're looking within yourselves, and you're saying to yourselves, you know, I know my value. I know who I am. And if this person does not recognize my value, then maybe I do need to move on. That is healthy behavior, you know. But I see this happens in many forms, you know. When I'm around people, you know, I'm independent. But when I do have to work in spaces where I'm dealing with people, you know, I see a lot of that. You know, I've spoken to you guys about that in the past about, you know, people I've you know, that I'm talking to or something, or and maybe, you know, there are pockets of people who don't like that or have some kind of, you know, disapproval of who I speak to, or because of how they feel about the person or whatever. And all of this is childhood, petty, you know, childishness. It's all from high school. And when you are an adult, when you're over 21, when before you're 21, but when you are an adult and you're man, you behave like an adult. Now, we all are children at heart. We still do some of the things that we love to do as children, right? Because that's the spark of our life. That's the thing that brings joy to us, that keeps us young and vibrant. But certain things as adults, we come into once we step into that threshold, you know, of adulthood, right? Certain things that we do, you know, we have responsibilities. Some of us have children. There are a bunch of things, and why we should conduct ourselves responsibly as adults, because we're going to have to, in some cases, bring the next generation, you know, we're going to have to raise them up. And so who we are is what they're going to become. So it's all relative. And I always, anytime I talk to you people, I'm going to speak in things that are relatable, because they all impact each other on some level. I don't want to go to a stalker, especially if it's a situation involving me, and tell them that they're low lives. But what does one do? I'm watching you watch me. I'm tired of being watched. I'm not, if you're gonna watch me, hey, watch these videos. Watch my YouTube. Watch me on social media. If you want to watch something, and while you're at it, subscribe. Do something for me. If you're gonna give me your attention on such a way, and that's healthy. Give it to me on a healthy dose. I'm not gonna be more inclined to want to know you more if I think that you're a stalker, right? If you're stalking me or something, I'm just not gonna, I'm just gonna want to stay away from you. And that's what healthy people do. And if we could watch you on a closed circuit monitor, we would see you do all of the things you do in the dark that you think no one is watching. But we all see that. The people like me anyway, we see that. And we're just a small swath of the population, so you don't have to worry about anything because we're just going to step on you when we get those opportunities. But the majority of the public does not have the kind of sense to understand you or snuff you out or something. They don't have that, and that's fine. And you know that, and you play on that to your advantage, right? Stalking is bad behavior. I love bad behavior. I don't love stalkers. I don't love people who engage in obsessive compulsive behavior, especially when it affects another person. Now, if you want to fucking chain smoke cigarettes, if you want to fucking be a binge drinker, okay, that's something that you're going to do and you're going to get into, and you're going to have to get yourself out of that. And I don't have a place in that. I don't have anything to say about what you want to do to yourself. But when you want to harass another person, right? It could be me, it could be my loved ones, it could be people I know, friends and associates. If you want to harass certain people, understand that you're harassing and you're stalking, right? So a lot of narcissistic people do not realize that there could be repercussions for them because you don't know who you're dealing with. When you're dealing with a hybrid empath, you're going to get someone who's going to care about people, but they don't care about scumbags. They're not like the regular empaths. They're not going to just have a loving, one size fits all mindset. They're gonna reserve their love for people who are worthy of it, because we're about justice. We don't give attention and praise and adulation to lowlifes. You get none of that here. We don't do things for those reasons. And I just want you people to understand, that if everyone in this world just stopped doing some of the stupid shit to other people, then we wouldn't have any conflicts. You people want to hem and haw about all of the problems of the world when you're part of the fucking problems. The very problems that you're crying about, you are helping to establish those problems in your own individual ways, right? You could be in any state in America. You could be in any state. But if you're doing some bullshit, collectively, you're contributing to the problem that we need to fix. On so many levels, I talk to you people about all of the different types of mental dysfunction and why it's important, because it affects me. It affects you. You can't come to work every day for 20 years and look at low-life people who are toxic, who are backbiting, and all of the low characteristics that make people antisociable. The unhealthy people. We should not have to deal with those people. If y'all all live somewhere together amongst each other, then that would be fine for me. I would be fine with that, or putting you guys on an island somewhere and let y'all go at it. We'll be entertained. We could sit back on closed circuit and watch you guys, do each other in. Survival of the fittest or some shit. We can watch that and be entertained by that and watch you wipe each other out. We won't even have to lift a finger to do anything because you will take each other out. You're built that way. When you are obsessive towards another person and they don't know you, and you're obsessed with what they do, where they go, who they associate with. You want to know all of their friends, but you have not made any efforts to be their friend. You haven't done anything to connect to them, but everything around them. You know, you're the type of person who will go up to someone and ask them about their children, but you have never asked them how they were. You may not even know them. So it looks really weird. You haven't established a relationship with me, but you want to talk to me about my children or something. Like, that's ridiculous. You know, you didn't ask me how my day was, but you asked me how my son or daughter or something, whoever, you asked me how their day was. You've never seen them. So you have to understand that those are the kind of scenarios, and somebody just told me about that too, but those are the kind of scenarios that stalkers and narcissistic people who push into your personal spaces, that's what they do. And they're doing it for some type of benefit to themselves. You may not know the benefit, right? It'll come out in the wash. But whatever reason they want to know information about you, it will always be to discredit you somehow or to use against you, because they don't operate in positives. Nothing they do is based on positivity. So I'm not going to make this video too long. I just had to touch on that about knowing if you're a stalker, and if you are, cease that behavior, because you should be grounded and like yourselves enough that you don't have to place all of your energies into another person, because your lives are so unfulfilled. Like, share, subscribe. Till we talk again, y'all have a good day.